So let's watch this video that you guys just suggested to me. I've never watched it, so we'll probably watch it together. Let's go.
Kenyan divestor abandons FBA man and black child to go prostitute to old white men in America. The irony is, she is the one paying old white men to pretend to be with her on TikTok. You cannot make this up, but let's get to the video.
It's your boy Kid Greatness, and today we're in Chinatown. Oh, you the class? Yeah, we're in Chinatown in Kilimani, and I'm here with a very
okay. So they're in Kilimani, okay, affluent place. So this guy was actually connected to Kid Fakeness. Ooh, this is about to be good.
Couple. They have a channel called US Meets Kenya. I'm gonna allow them to introduce themselves, starting with the lady first.
Hey guys, I'm Faith from Kenya.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me better.
I'm Keith from USA.
Yeah, and this is our baby. She's called Serenity.
Yeah, she's adorable. She's adorable. Okay, y'all was telling me an interesting story about how y'all met. Okay, so I'll let y'all pick who want to describe it.
Tell the story. So I'm going to tell it.
You guys want to tell the story too?
She wants to tell the story too.
Okay. All right, so I was online and I was like, let me try matching Black American.
Yeah.
See how it goes. So when I saw his profile, I swiped back on him, and then he said hi. And then I was like, I don't feel like replying to him. So, for 3 days, I never said hi back to him. And then he asked me, do you like Americans? And then I ignored him. And then he told me, can I have your number? And then I ignored him. So it was like almost a...
Okay, guys, let me give you African game 101. Where's my screen so I can bring myself up? African game 101. Never ask a woman in Africa if they like Americans. They don't care. They care if you have money or if you don't. That's it. You can be black, white, Asian. I saw in one of those O'Shea videos that I reacted to, he was curiously asking them to when he went to Africa for the first time, because he didn't believe that any woman would want him. You know, like, you got to work on your self-esteem even here before you go overseas. Even though it's a lot easier to get the chicks there, it is really much easier over there. I agree, but to avoid these problems, you got to personally work on your self-esteem. Try to be a very confident man. If you're struggling with that, speak publicly. Try to do more public engagements. Speak to the camera on YouTube. Like, just do something. You know, I got a whole accent and I'm sitting in front of a lot of people, and it doesn't shake me, right? So this is a skill that you got to build on your own. Just build on your self-esteem. Your skin color doesn't matter there. What group of the black diaspora you belong to doesn't matter. I'm sure a lot of you have heard me say this over and over again. Sometimes it's hard for people to believe me because of what you've heard over the years, but I'm telling you from the source, as an African guy that I've also lived in America, that really the game over there, and I can speak for Africa and South America, a lot of similarities there. The game over there is really who you are, right? So just be yourself, be authentic self. Be cheerful, because this is a society where people are more together and they want to know you as a person. Don't try to lead with money. Don't try to lead with your passport. Just be yourself. Some of them just get turned on from your accent, and we get that here too. I've had, in my early stages, I've had women that just want to be with me because of my accent or how I sound. So you would have people there that would love you just because of your accent. They think it's cool. But overall, just lead with yourself. Make sure you're mentally in a space to have fun. Like, just go there and have fun. And when you are just your authentic self, you can weed out a lot of these problems. So asking a girl on Tinder if they like Americans already tells me the mental state of where he is as a guy. That's a very low self-esteem person, and you should not do that. Just move on from there. What if they say, no, I don't like Americans? Then what do? You just walk off. You don't give it a shot. You don't try. You're not supposed to do that. Just be yourself, and don't even bring up the fact that you're American, because really, frankly, Africans don't care. And I've also said this, because of what is happening here in the US, sometimes people don't believe that it's actually true. I've always said that you're gonna get the most welcome you'd ever get if you go to Africa, especially if you're a black guy, and even if you're a white guy from America, you will get the same treatment. You get people will show you love, people will help you out, people will protect you. Because for us, we see it as one of our brothers just coming from overseas, and and all you get is love. I haven't seen a single guy that have gone to Tanzania or Kenya that has complained about how the locals treated him, of course, except for Jirello. But even Jirello got a lot of love, despite all the stuff he said. There was still a lot of Kenyans that were helping him, right? So I think the way he started off was this is the simp, like this is like uh, really somebody that really needed a bit of red pill before he went down there. And again, if looking at him, just how he's presenting himself, he may come across, even if you are a nerdy, and I consider myself a bit on the nerd side, but you don't want to dress like one, right? You don't want to be like one. It shows up a little bit nerdy to me. Also, a bit feminized too. African women like macho, man. Not macho in terms of the gym, but macho in terms of masculine, being man, right? And when you're a bit girlish or softish, you lose a few points there.
Yeah. And then I told him, yeah, you can have my Instagram. So after getting my Instagram,
I didn't know it was.
Fellas, if you're going to Africa and your chick has Instagram, your African girl has Instagram, especially if they just have the account, like my wife has Instagram, but she posts kids and she posts like once a year. So if they're very heavily on Facebook, is different. A lot of them use Facebook to communicate with friends overseas and family overseas. So it's become more like a WhatsApp or communication tool now. But when they're very heavy on Instagram and they're posting a lot of individual photos about themselves, that is not a wife. In Africa, that is not a wife. You want, if you're living here because the women here suck, the last chick you want in Africa is the one that has an Instagram that is actively on Instagram. Those are as westernized as it gets. Some of them are even feminists. People don't know we got some feminists down there too. So I will, if I'm doing a consultation for a brother that is looking for a real, genuine, authentic African marriage, those are the first two things I'll tell you. Stay off Tinder, stay off any chicks over there that are seen enough American media. And Instagram shows them a lot of American media. So just off the bed, I think he's he screwed it up.
Why you do my man like that?
all right, like
She do everybody like that. Everybody does,
I'm
right?
just a lazy tester.
Oh, yeah?
Naturally, I'm just a lazy tester.
Yeah.
So after we were talking on Instagram, we connected a little bit, and he told me he was gonna come from the US to Kenya, so we can meet.
Yeah.
So he booked his flight. I think after 3 months of talking, he booked his flight.
Yep.
So y'all talked for 3 months.
Yep.
I decided to ignore them for a couple of years. Y'all got it together.
Yeah, we got together
Yeah.
finally.
Yeah.
So his flight was arriving at 5 in the morning, right?
Uh-huh.
So I had to wake up at 4 in the morning just to go pick a man at the airport. So I got up at 4 in the morning. I got ready. I was at the airport by 4:30,
Mhm.
and then his flight delayed. Imagine, and I was there with heels, standing. So I was standing from
Mhm.
4:30 until 7 in the morning. That's when his flight landed. It delayed by 2 hours. And then when I saw him, he looked like his pictures. He just clicked, and I liked him. How did you feel?
Yeah, I thought like, okay, so I knew my flight was late, right?
Yeah.
So I figured that because she might not show up, she might. So okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Because the flight was delayed with 2 hours,
Yeah.
So when I saw you, I was so excited. I ran, I hugged you.
Mhm.
And then we booked an Uber. We went to check into your hotel.
One thing my dad always told me, this is very common. Like it's one of the nicest things that you have in a big African family is funny parents. My dad was funny, and when we got to that age, my dad always said, when you're what was he saying, like when you meet a girl and you show more excitement than she does, she's gonna leave you. That's the one thing my dad said, and it always stuck with me. Like if you are the one asking all the time, hey, where are you, what are you doing, you're texting, if there's a text exchange and there's like you sent 3 and she's only sent 1, that should be like your your initial telltale, and this works here in the US too. You know, if you meet a chick and you're talking and you seem to be more energized than she is, that when the energy levels are not there on her side, I think you should move away. She might be there just because she makes some good money, or there's got to be something that is keeping her there. So just off the bed, I can just tell from the energy that that girl is a professional. She wasn't, that wasn't the first time chatting with a gringo on the internet. She's had a few trials. The girls that I know, they don't even know the way to the airport. They can't go to the airport. You gotta find them an Uber that picks them up to come pick you up. So off the bed, I think some things are not my red flags are just boom, boom, boom. My alarm bells are just ringing in.
Hotel. After checking in, I think I never went back to my house.
Yep, that was it.
That's crazy. That's
After we
crazy.
checked into the hotel, I never went back to my place. Like that's just it. That's how we moved in.
Yep, and she gave it up probably the moment he arrived too. So yeah, that fellas, that's not a wife in Africa, man. The ones that you're gonna be married to, even if you've been talking for 3 months before you showed up, she'll at least let a day pass. Just for her honor and her respect, she would just turn it down and just say no for the very first day, so that you guys can at least talk and laugh. At least start with laughing. This the little human stuff. And this was just 0 to 100 real fast.
And it's been like almost 3 years now. Like
3 years.
3 years together, we have a child. So after just taking the hotel, we were like, we want to get to know each other more. So we're just spending each time knowing each other. And then I told him, oh, maybe we should get an apartment together.
Oh wow! Wait, how long? It's okay. Yeah, that was so.
So she is telling him we should get an apartment together. Again, that is also not very African at all. Like, that is a woman in control. That's giving masculine vibes, man. Like I know, like I say, like my wife can say that, hey, I want this house, which where we stay is really by design what she wanted, but she ended like I made the decision that we're going to buy. She then makes the decision of what she would love in a house, and then you're supposed to give that to her. So it starts with your leadership that this is when we're buying or we're not buying. Like the few times during the pandemic when we were at the old house, I put the plug on a few properties, and she didn't like it, but she had to take it. You're in charge. It's starting to sound a lot more that she is literally she found a simp and she went with it.
Like, how long did it take for y'all to like get an apartment together?
Oh, it's
Like
quick.
3 days.
Yeah, that was
What the? You see? It's even funny. They got an apartment 3 days in. It's the same system here, fellas. Women are the same. Like, I don't care. American women, African women, black women. They operate genetically the same, man. They are the same. Only that the ones down there have a bit of traditionalism and composure, and they cook the meals and they are more caring. But that doesn't mean they are all good. And that, I think, that is the biggest misconception amongst a lot of brothers. We think that, oh, every woman overseas will still be better than the woman here. And some are and some are not. Some are really horrible. Like, some are bad, some are still some are doing the whole baby mama, baby daddy thing over there too. And remember, they got Netflix over there. They watch the same movies you're watching. And African society and South America has really taken a hit from all these infiltrations, that you might be running away from a problem here and going into a similar problem there and not noticing. And you're going to be blinded by what creators like that guy told you, because obviously he's so excited, it's good for his content. And then you're also going to get excited by the fact that you're getting coochie that is not being used up by 300 men and a chick that hasn't had a child. A lot of women on the African continent don't have children. They will not have a child until they're married. There's many of them that won't. There's one or few of them that do. So one pro tip again that I'll give all of you: if you go over there, South America or Africa, stay away from single moms. I'm sure you guys have heard me say it 100 times. It's my biggest pet peeve. If she's already made a decision to carry there, she's so far away from tradition that when she ever comes near to this country, she's going to create even bigger problems for you. So stay away from there. You're in a country where you got 80-90% of the chicks are not single moms. They don't have children. So why would you go for the one that has a child? You know what I mean? Like it might be very difficult to find a woman here in Colombia that doesn't have a child, because there's a lot of them that have children. But over there in Africa, that's the one problem we don't have. The chicks there don't have any children. It's very shameful for them to have a child without a husband. It still is, even in the big cities. So you will find girls that don't have children. Why would you skip that and get the one that have a child? And I see this very commonly with Europeans and Americans. They tend to go for women over there that have children, because those are the women that are on the internet. The African girls that have these pages, Instagram and Tinder, they are desperate because they have kids. The African men don't want them. That's why they are trying to get with a gringo. The gringos will take even a guy with a child. And I'm here to tell you guys, you don't want to do that. And solely due to the fact that in these countries, there's so many women that don't have children. So why would you pick one that has? You don't have to. Let me take some of your questions here. Kung Fu says KG is weird as hell to the nah. Yeah, but I'm sure he'll do it too. See, that's the thing, man. The power of the P. People forget how powerful this thing is. It's like a nuclear force, man. I've seen grown men do weird things because of pussy. So Cortez says you can hear in her voice she's the three of. Yeah, I think so too. Maybe not the ones that walk on the street, but like the quiet pros. If you know what I mean, like the quiet pros that would like do it from time to time. And then ours said it's more weaves in Africa than it is in America, and the skin bleaching things. Yeah, they're doing that too. I seen that they buy this mercury thing to get their skin, and then that's another thing. If you see a chick that bleaches, that might be another reason that's another chick you should disqualify. Maybe I should make a video about what chicks to disqualify in Africa, and then make a separate one for South America. But yeah, disqualify the ones that have bleach. Disqualify the ones that have heavy Instagram presence and post photos of just themselves. Disqualify the ones that speak like they're trying to sound American. When they speak to you, they don't sound. You don't hear you don't hear too much of the African accent. Like you feel like they've overly polished it, but they've never left the continent. That's a Netflix chick. She's not gonna be able to cook for you. Those are the ones you disqualify too. If they have children, you disqualify them. If they don't have a connection to their fathers and their mothers, and also to their village, like a connection to their village. If you go there and they never take you outside of Nairobi, and they just keep you in the capital city, that's also a red flag. Let them go. And yeah, that's really you're in a continent where there's so much tradition left to where you can easily sample out the bullshit. Yep, disqualify any woman who won't let you answer the phone. Exactly. They shouldn't even be on the phone that much. The only time they should be on the phone is if they're talking to you. And anyone that protests that, or anyone that doesn't want you to see the phone. Some of them are cheats, so people don't know. Like African women cheat, man. some of them are horrible cheats,
The hotel, I was like, this is the guy, and he was like, this is the girl I'm looking
So this was like love at first sight. Like I was just like,
Like, so ever since we met, we have not been apart. Like every day we're together.
It's kind of like that though. It's kind of funny.
But there is, anyway, by the way, though, and I maybe Kung Fu can correct me here. There are certain tribes in Kenya that are really light skinned. They may look like they have they are mixed in with other races. And there's also a heavy Somali Indian uh, Indian population that have also intermarried over the years. So you will find real Kenyans that will be a bit light skinned, but this she looks a little bit on the mercury side. I think she's bleached.
Love that both. I don't like that, but
I think, bro, that's the definition, though, bro. Like,
it's gotta be right.
I mean, I'll be honest. I've never met a girl, and I just stayed with her for the next 3 years. Like, that's some love right there.
So
Like,
it's like matching someone online, you meet, and then you just stay together like that from the first date. So I just went to my place, I picked my bags, then went to look for an apartment in Mombasa. We furnished our house, then we moved in like that.
Yeah.
So, and he was like, oh, I'm not going back to my country, And when he was staying there,
Does your Kenyan boyfriend know you're busy looking for a Muzungu husband? Okay, so Muzungu, for those of you that don't know, Muzungu is like a foreigner, generally used for a foreigner, but specifically they use it for white people. But I don't know, is she the one that is posting this? Okay. She is a pretty girl, though. Another thing too, man. Sometimes you have to keep what you can qualify for. If you know you bring her to America and she's definitely not gonna be your qualification level once she's here, then you might as well keep her there. Just make sure she just keep her in Africa, man. Because if she comes here, remember there's African diaspora here. There's other African girls that live here, right? So they come into a community when they move to America. And if they've come into that community, there will be some Kenyan boys that will be checking her out. She goes to work, there will be some white boys that will be checking her out. It's not the easiest thing to do if the attraction level is not at parity. That's what I'm saying. Like for my dad's thing, or what my dad always told us is like, because we're all boys, so my dad was very open with us. He says, one of the things that you should look out for is if your energy levels are way above them, then she's gonna leave you. So you should leave first, or should just move on to the next. And I never forgot that.
And my man.
How much did you pay for the shoot? Huh. Okay. Is that a Rolls Royce? Or they just put a seat cover? Why is she in a Rolls Royce? This looks like a girl that has that really loves the camera. So yeah, this guy did it all wrong, man.
And thank you to my man. And my man. And thank you to my man. And my man.
Oh, he went for a rich guy. Ooh, how much did you pay for the shoot? Okay, so for those of you that came for me when I did that video, the Jirello video, that I said that if you don't elevate yourself here and you go over there and you pick a woman that you may not have qualified for, if you translate that same woman here, the moment you bring them, there's a high possibility that that woman will run away. I said it on these streams, and a lot of people didn't believe that was true. So yeah, he said Muzungu is actually does mean white. Yeah, that is like, so there's in Zambian where they put a U there, Zambian say Muzungu. It actually means anyone who is an aimless wanderer, hence not a citizen. Yeah, so it's like how Ghanaians call. I saw some black sisters complain about how Ghanaians call them whites, and the Ghanaian word I think is obroni, which means white, but obroni also means it's like has synonymically also means foreign. And I said, well, I answered in one of the chats, and I said, actually, if you look at the literature, it also means foreigner. So sometimes it may come across like you might think they're calling you white, but they're actually saying that you are foreign to the land, which I still don't agree with. I think if you're from the diaspora and you go to Africa, you're not supposed to be a foreigner, but certain countries, certain rules, that's what they do. But yeah, it looks like a guy that drives a Rolls Royce. Yeah, of course she was gonna leave.
Thank you to my man.
Yep. You see that Rolex there? Rolls Royce. Yep, yep, yep. Where is this though? Is this here in the US? Okay, some golf cars. Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah. This one is gone, man. Fellas, we've lost this one. Yeah, because you see, your bombers can't get it back. Your money only stretches when you're over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, this looks like Arizona. So this is here in the US. Yeah, that money stretches when you're when you keep those dollars in Africa. Okay, Vegas. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere in on the west side. Thanks for clarifying that. But see, this is what happens. When I said on one of the streams, a lot of you disagreed with me. Everything comes down to money, fellas. Try to get as much of it as you can. That's the only thing that keeps you in control. If not, the guy that has the most money will always be a competitor, and that's exactly what happened here. If he kept her ass over there in Kenya, she would have gotten with the richer Kenyan every time he traveled overseas. And I also think he said he lived in Kenya for 3 years. I think he ran out of money. That's why they decided to move to America together. Because sometimes you run out of money living there, and then you're like, hey, let's just move to the US so we can both work while we're there. And that's what happens when you move. She gets her papers 2 years in, she's out of the house, and now she's got this rich guy that did no work. You spend all these years putting her, polishing her up. I mean, look, she looks like she's bathing a lot more now. You know, looking all like an Instagram model, which is, oh, I don't want to laugh at this dude, but this shit is gonna happen. It's happened to a lot of foreigners. You know, yeah, man, it is. And that thing too is like, you have to understand these countries. The Kenya, my Ghana, and Nigeria have the highest number of Black African, sub-Saharan Africa. So I'm not gonna add Somalia to it. Has the highest number of emigrations, or where people leave the countries the most in all of Africa. The number one is Nigeria. Number two is Ghana. Number three is Kenya. That's where people leave the country, and not just to the United States. So people leave. Some will go to the Middle East, Qatar, Doha, and all these places. Some are going to Europe. Some are going to US, Canada. But where people leave right after, because not just because the economy is in shambles, it's just culturally part of these people to just want to live abroad because they have relatives that live here. Sometimes they see the flashy life on Instagram, or the houses they've gone back home to build. And it's created a mindset over there that you're always going to do better when you move to the US, which is true, but they have evidence because of the things that people have built over there from earning dollars here in the US. I mean, I have friends that have built houses that are 9,000 square foot, and they're sitting there with just a guard looking at them. They're over here driving Uber. You think they're useless. You go over there to their home countries, they got a pool, a 10,000 square foot house with a big driveway that you have to drive almost half a mile just to get to the crib itself. You know, I see it. I'm in this community, so I see it. And these girls are seeing these guys too. Those guys, when they go home, they are with the finest girls. They're chilling. They're coming from the US with all this money. Uh, this is not the type of chick you pick for a wife, fellas.